Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. Today, we have some very interesting breaking crypto news. One of the things being Forbes just announced $200 million strategic investment from Binance. When I'm telling you that Binance is taking over, I am telling you Binance is taking over. These guys are literally investing in every different sector, and I honestly believe, guys, that they're doing that to further manipulate the brand for Binance to become everything, basically. What we've talked about before is how Binance has bought out CoinMarketCap. Now they're doing a huge investment into Forbes. This can literally mean that eventually everything in the crypto space will be centered around Binance because, if you think about it, if you're buying the news outlets, if you're buying, again, the price aggregators or outlets, it's not going to be long before they buy you, all right? It's literally crazy in that sense. Now, the BNB token did pretty well at the start when this news just came out. To be honest with you, I think the articles were over-marketing it a little bit because if you look at the price right now, I don't think we will be able to say that BNB is really popping off or going crazy, even though a lot of articles were stating it like that. But then again, look at the interesting pump and dump scheme that just went about here. The price literally went on a pretty crazy pump to about 430 before crashing right back down to 412, which is definitely peculiar. And that sparks the question, what type of pump and dump happened here? As earlier we had some crazy volume, $2.5 billion. Then at low points here we only had 1.9, and now it's ramping up again. But it's an interesting little concept and contrast for this action throughout the day. So yeah, $200 million investment. The world's biggest crypto exchange is making that into Forbes. Sun reports the funds will help Forbes execute on its plan to merge with a publicly traded special purpose acquisition company, or SPAC, in the first quarter, according to people with knowledge of the deal. So yet again, guys, very, very interesting here. Investors have grown skeptical of SPAC deals generally, and media deals in particular. In recent months, amid the broader stock market retrenchment, Binance will replace half of the $400 million in commitments from institutional investors announced by Forbes in August, said the people who declined to be identified in the matter. So very interesting. That will make Binance one of the top two biggest owners of Forbes, which will be listed on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker Forbes, whatever people said. Very, 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 very interesting. The company will also get 2 directors' seats on the board. Okay. Then we have some other breaking crypto news. And guys, make sure you press that like button if you enjoy these quick little updates on every single most important news bit that's out there. I'm trying to do different sorts of videos on the channel a little bit more. A lot of you guys said, man, just make different sort of stuff, trying it out. Cryptocom, one of the coins I hold a lot of as well, you guys know it, snaps up naming rights to F1 Miami Grand Prix. Following its $100 million sponsorship deal with Formula One, Cryptocom has signed a 9-year deal for naming rights to the F1's newest race. Interesting. Very strange, but interesting. So this is not a deal that's like your household thing that you would think of, but apparently what they've done is, again, sign a 9-year deal to be the official title partner of the Miami Grand Prix. And as far as I understand, it's just, what is the Miami Grand Prix partner? Crypto.com. That's the official partner that they got, the Crypto.com Miami Grand Prix. The race official name is, again, Formula One, Crypto.com, Miami Grand Prix. It's kind of the same as we've seen Crypto.com do before with the arena. Crypto.com is going for a mass crypto adoption strategy where it's like they're not going to really go for the normal crypto people. They're going for the masses of people knowing this specific project. Is it good? Depends on how you view it, you know. Are they going to get a high conversion rate in comparison? I wouldn't think so, because a lot of these guys are not interested, so it's a very low conversion, but it's very high impression. So even though the conversion rate percentage is lower, if you get this many impressions, they literally got LeBron James, they got literally, pick a freaking athlete. They're working in some way, shape, or form with Crypto.com. These guys definitely know how to do that stuff. I personally think Crypto.com is not the best. I've tried to reach out to them for a couple of different things and they always kind of ignore it off. If I have questions for the support, they're not the best to respond. So personally, cannot necessarily recommend Crypto.com itself. The token itself, I do hold in the platform, I do hold a little bit, but I'm getting more and more people that are wondering as well about whether or not it's so smart, because how exactly is it insured? How exactly do those things work? And the thing is, guys, when you're investing money into an exchange because you're staking it, for example, you often assume that it's safe. But define safety. Is it really insured properly where you're going to get your money back if something happens to them? Maybe, but that's a difficult one. The maximum that you can do on there, I believe, is €500,000. So it's not the craziest amount of money that you can lose for a lot of people out there. It's still a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but I mean, you can't put in $1 billion, you know? With a lot of these decentralized protocols, you can put in as much money as you want. If something happens, you lost everything. In this sense here, there is a max. Maybe that's because of insurance policies, or maybe that's just for some other reason that I can't really comprehend just quite yet. Bill Ackman calls on New York to fix its crypto-unfriendly rules and asks how New York City mayor can even spend his Bitcoin paycheck. Now, to kind of put a fun contrast here, we know Cryptocom, we know Casta, and we know a couple of other crypto projects out there that are looking to basically get into this card system. I believe Binance has one, and even Coinbase has a card for it. But you got to remember that the majority of non-crypto people don't actually understand how you can spend crypto. Now, here over in Dubai, it's actually pretty easy to spend crypto literally. You want to buy a watch? Sure, pay with crypto. You want to rent a home? Sure, pay with crypto. They don't really care. And there's a pretty big step process because I think for most people it just comes down to how exactly are we going to account for the transfer. At the end of the day, guys, if they, for example, ask a 2% fee for you to pay with crypto and they literally instantly change the money over from crypto to whatever fiat they want, it's not really a hard thing. And I mean, if you're the accountant, I guess, you can even just explain it as is just a foreign currency that you're getting, which again is not officially foreign currency everywhere, but that's what we're getting towards, I think. And you just change it over. There's the conversion cost, okay? And that's that. So what's the difficult part? It's just this new on-ramp that's difficult to get into, but it will get there. And so if you're wondering if crypto can really get the mainstream adoption, even Bitcoin, yes, it will definitely get there if you ask me. And it can actually be there for grocery shopping as well. The only problem is you might think, oh, but it's so expensive to send. Well, there's solutions to that. We have Lightning Network or just a different cryptocurrency altogether. Or, again, use Bitcoin for the higher end things. Like, for example, a CryptoPunk and stuff like that. We talked about this before. Ethereum chain, right? Because if you're buying a $400,000 image, the $50 fee is not the biggest hurdle. If you're buying a 50-cent image, then the $50 or $100 send fee is a pretty big hurdle, and so forth and so on. If you're paying $5 for the groceries, a $15 fee is ridiculous. Or for McDonald's for your food or whatever, for your garbage. But if you're paying, again, a $100,000 watch or a $500,000 house or whatever, the $50 fee is almost neglectable relatively, right? So I would say that there are some, let's see, I'm just testing to see if it works properly. Sometimes the camera lags out a little bit. I'm buying a new MacBook, but it takes time. They don't have it in stock, and I don't want to order because if I order it comes in like the 6th of March. So I'm just refreshing every day to see if it comes back in stock or so. So if you guys are wondering why I have not upgraded this thing yet, that is why. But yeah, that's my thoughts about the adoption stuff. And then Cardano undertakes new proposal to speed up smart contract platform updates. Very nice. Cardano is working on a proposal to speed up smart contract updates. We talked about this before. Plutus core changes to be organized around CIPs. It's all coming together. The proposal by M. Peyton Jones defines a process for anyone to propose changes to Plutus with a clear path to acceptance and implementation. Open to discussion, jump in. What we talked about before with Cardano basically is they right now are going through a very slow process of getting everything researched properly before implementing it. We know that the Ethereum Foundation, the Ethereum just in general, researches quite a lot. And for example, when we talked before about sharding, how it takes such a long time, they might even take a couple more years before the big Ethereum upgrade. We don't know. It's because they research a lot before they do something. Cardano takes this approach another step further, where they actually peer review things, I guess, even double as properly, because they don't actually innovate for new things, as far as I understand it. They usually take, for example, hey, we see a good Ethereum part. What they've done is nice. Let's innovate that specific part the best we can to make sure it's properly done, and there's absolutely no issue. They don't, as far as I understand, right? My own thoughts, not financial advice, not legal advice, my own thoughts. As far as I know, they look at the core concepts of whatever is created already. They understand that. They try to fully grasp the severity in every single part of it, and then try to make that and implement that in the best possible way possible. And that's again what makes Cardano so great over longer terms and so annoying, I guess, over shorter terms, that it's hard to conceptualize something that's going to happen in the future when the technology might not even be created yet, and they don't even know the path there. They just know we're researching everything and we're trying to get to somewhere while there needs to be a couple of steps in the way first. Then again, Cardano's roadmap looks amazing. We've talked before about a couple of different things that I think Cardano will excel in. One of them being that it's just literally undervalued from the perspective that the technology behind it, the thought process behind it, it's all so important. People look at hype, people look at just marketing. Cardano ain't so much about that. It's mostly about the underlying thoughts and the thought of doing something properly and structured from the get-go instead of getting something out there and then making it better as you go along. Make it properly the first time you do it and then adjust afterwards. We all know The first 99% of the coding work, for example, in a project can take as much time as the last 1% because that's when the real issues come in. But Cardano takes the approach of, let's put in the 100% first and then do the bug fixing, if you get my drift, because the bugs are going to be there regardless of whether or not you finished it. So finish it first and then fix the issues which are outside of what you thought you should have finished, basically. After you're already done, there's going to be more issues, so then work on those while you're already perfected it before you get something out there. My thoughts though, my understanding, might be wrong, who knows. But that is it for right now, guys. A couple of very nice announcements. I just wanted to quickly share that over on the channel. If you enjoyed this video, guys, make sure you press that like button, and I'll definitely see you guys again in another crypto video later today.